Let's go Ravens! We've had some major roster moves recently, so I'll give you the latest updates. But before we dive into today's news, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of the latest Ravens updates. We've got some major roster news to cover, and you're going to want to stick around for this one. Alright, let's talk about the recent developments with Keaton Mitchell and Arthur Maulet. As we get closer to the start of the regular season, the Ravens have confirmed that both players will be out for at least the first 4 games. This news comes after the team's final 53-man roster was announced, and it's definitely something that will impact our early season strategy. First up, Keaton Mitchell. This guy was a spark for us last year. Remember, he came in as an undrafted free agent and quickly made a name for himself with his explosive speed. Through 7 games, he averaged an impressive 8.4 yards per carry, racking up 396 rushing yards, 93 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns. He brought that big play ability every time he touched the ball. Unfortunately, he suffered a serious knee injury last December, and while he's making progress, he's not ready to return to the field. Mitchell is on the physically unable to perform (PUP) list, meaning he won't be eligible to return until Week 5. Meanwhile, the Ravens are leaning on Derrick Henry as their starting running back. We all know what Henry can do. He's a power forward who can wear down defenses, and now he'll be complemented by veteran Justice Hill. Additionally, rookie Rasheen Ali, our 5th pick, made the 53-man roster. There's a lot of excitement surrounding how Ali could fit into this backfield, but there's no doubt that when Mitchell is healthy, he'll add a different dimension to our offense, combining his game-breaking speed with Henry's hard-hitting style. Now, let's shift gears to Arthur Maulet. Maulet has been a standout in training camp, especially in the first few weeks before he had to undergo arthroscopic knee surgery in early August. Last season, he was a key player for us in the slot corner role, recording 37 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and 1 interception. Maulet is known for his tough, hard-nosed play, whether defending the pass or attacking the edge. Like Mitchell, Maulet is out for the first 4 games, but he's designated to return from injured reserve after that. In Maulet's absence, the Ravens have a few solid options. Safeties Kyle Hamilton and AR Darius Washington, as well as cornerback Marlon Humphrey, could fill the slot. But there's no doubt that the defense will get a boost once Maulet is back on the field, bringing his experience and physicality to the secondary. So here's what we're looking at for the first 4 games. The Ravens will face some tough opponents: the Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders, Dallas Cowboys, and Buffalo Bills. This is a challenging stretch, and having Mitchell and Maulet out isn't ideal. However, both players will be eligible to return for Week 5, just in time for a crucial matchup against our division rivals, the Cincinnati Bengals, on October 6th. What do you think, Ravens fans? How do you feel about the team's depth in the backfield and secondary without Mitchell and Maulet? Do you think we'll be able to hold out until they return? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. The Ravens have trimmed their roster down to the final 53 players. The Ravens have decided to keep 10 offensive linemen, and notably, they haven't added any new players to the line, at least not yet. This shows that Coach Harbaugh is confident in the group he's assembled, even though he hasn't officially revealed the starting lineup. Based on preseason performances, the projected starters are Ronnie Stanley at left tackle, Andrew Voorhees at left guard, Tyler Linderbaum anchoring the center, Daniel Faalele at right guard, and Roger Rosengarten holding down the right tackle position. Veteran Patrick McCrary could also see time, likely rotating in at right tackle depending on matchups. The Ravens have clearly prioritized depth on the offensive line, keeping guys like Ben Cleveland, Josh Jones, Salah Omavelaolu, and rookie Nick Samak. This depth is crucial, especially considering the physical nature of the AFC North. Omavelaolu, a big-bodied 6th-round pick from this year's draft, managed to beat out the competition to earn his spot, while Samak, a 7th-round pick, has impressed enough in camp to secure the backup center role behind Linderbaum. Having McCrary as a versatile backup gives the Ravens some extra security across the line. Although the Ravens didn't make any trades to bolster this unit, they'll be keeping a close eye on the waiver wire for any potential depth additions as the season progresses. Now, here's a feel-good story for you. Safety Bo Braid, the hometown hero, has made the team as the only undrafted rookie to crack the 53-man roster. Braid, who played his high school ball at River Hill High and starred at the University of Maryland, was expected to be a Day 3 draft pick after leading the Terps in tackles for 2 straight seasons. But when the draft didn't go his way, he signed with his childhood team, the Ravens, determined to make his mark. Despite a slow start due to an ankle injury, Braid came alive during the preseason, tallying 19 tackles, including 2 for loss, and coming close to a diving interception. It's clear that his determination and hard work have paid off, and he now has the opportunity to play for the team he's loved since childhood. Braid's journey is reminiscent of Keaton Mitchell's story from last year, where Mitchell, the son of former Ravens player Anthony Mitchell, made the roster as an undrafted rookie. It's a great tradition that continues this year with Braid, showing once again that the Ravens are a team that values talent and heart, no matter where it comes from. Speaking of undrafted rookies, wide receiver Dayton Wade and outside linebacker Joe Evans also made strong cases for themselves during camp and preseason. However, the Ravens opted for experience at wide receiver, going with veterans Tylan Wallace and Deontay Hardy for the final 2 receiver spots, leaving Wade on the outside looking in. At linebacker, rookie Adisa Isaac, despite another injury, remains on the roster, suggesting that his recovery is on track and the Ravens are hopeful he'll contribute soon. Let's shift our focus to the secondary, where the competition was fierce. Braid wasn't the only rookie safety to make the roster. Sanusi Kane, a 7th-round pick, also earned his spot. Kane made an impression early, particularly with his physicality during the preseason opener against the Eagles. His special teams potential likely played a big role in securing his place on the team. The battle between Kane and Braid was so tight that it came down to the final preseason game, where Braid's strong performance may have given him the edge. Unfortunately, this meant that Pepe Williams, a 4th-round pick from last year, didn't make the cut. Williams had a rough preseason, particularly in the finale against Green Bay, and with the Ravens' depth at safety, there just wasn't room for him. Even though Arthur Maulet is on injured reserve, he's designated for return and could be back after 4 weeks, further complicating Williams' chances. The Ravens will enter the season with 6 safeties: Kyle Hamilton, Marcus Williams, Eddie Jackson, A.R. Darius Washington, Kane, and Braid, forming one of the deepest secondary units in the league. Another noteworthy decision was the Ravens rolling the dice by keeping only 2 quarterbacks on the roster, Lamar Jackson and Josh Johnson. Last year, the team kept 3 quarterbacks, which allowed them to have an emergency 3rd QB on game days. This year, they've decided to stick with just 2, waiving rookie 6th-round pick Devin Leary and undrafted rookie Emory Jones. Leary struggled in the preseason, particularly in the finale, where he threw 2 interceptions and lost a fumble. Jones, despite a more efficient preseason, didn't do enough to convince the coaching staff to keep 3 quarterbacks. Both Leary and Jones could still land on the practice squad, but for now, it's just Jackson and Johnson holding down the QB position. This move is particularly interesting given the NFLPA's veto of the rule change that would have allowed for a 3rd quarterback on the practice squad to serve as an emergency option. Finally, let's talk about the running back situation. We know Derrick Henry and Justice Hill are locked in as the top 2 backs, but the 3rd spot is where things get murky. Rookie 5th-round pick Rasheen Ali made the team, but he's still in the concussion protocol following an injury in the preseason opener. While he has returned to practice, it's unclear if he'll be ready for Week 1. This uncertainty is compounded by Owen Wright's unfortunate injury, a broken foot that landed him on injured reserve, effectively ending his season. But now I want to hear from you. What do you think about the decisions the Ravens made with their roster? And as always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Go Ravens!